Hello and welcome to this Motor Week special.
Coming to you from the 2001 Geneva Motorshow.
Renowned as the best automotive show, this is the 71st to be held here in the Swiss capital.
We'll be taking a look at everything from crazy concepts to sports cars to eco-friendly, sensible small cars, giving you a unique opportunity to see the models that will be on sale in the UK later this year. And we'll be asking the manufacturers the questions that you want answered.
Ginny will be checking out the new 7th incarnation of the legendary rally-bred Mitsubishi Evolution. I'll look at the Toyota Yaris T Sport, and Ken Gibson checks out the new affordable Jaguar X-Type.
Plus we'll be looking at a Honda Civic that's cast its jumper into the wayside in exchange for a pair of rather racy driving gloves.
Now, if all of those gas-guzzling, smelly, badger-killing monsters aren't to your taste, then we'll be looking at some of the new planet-friendly cars that'll be on offer in the future.
Tommy Mackinnon talking up on stage there at the Mitsubishi press conference here at Geneva. And of course, earlier on this year, Mackinnon won the Monte Carlo rally in a modified Lancer Evolution 6, becoming only the third man in the rally's 69-year history to win 3 times in a row. And this is the latest incarnation of the Evolution. It's number 7, and it packs 276 brake horsepower that will rocket you to 60 in an amazing 4.5 seconds. When it goes on sale in September, it's going to provide supercar performance at way below the price of something like a 911. Around just over 30 grand is expected. And I'll tell you what, we can't wait. Mitsubishi only officially started importing the Lancer with the Evo 6, when the grey import showed them just how much car buyers wanted the cars. It provides an exhilarating performance at a relatively affordable price. So who exactly wants to get behind the wheel?
Broad range of people, all sorts of people, but you get people who it's their only transport because it's a very practical car, but you also get people who've got 3 or 4 cars and it's a must-have sort of product.
How important is this car to Mitsubishi, to the whole image? I mean, obviously rallying is something you're synonymous with. It's massively important, isn't it?
I mean, the Evo car is synonymous now with Mitsubishi. It has a huge halo effect for us, and it just speaks volumes for the brand.
We're looking at the Evo 7, and of course after 6 you said that was going to be it. Why 7?
Well, it's a logical extension of the range. Mitsubishi have always been committed to rallying a production car. This car is going to be fully homologated. The car is on sale now in Japan, and we're really looking forward to it. It's a major improvement on the old car. We expect to be selling Evo 6s through 2001. This car will be available to us, the official car, from September.
And would you believe that Mitsubishi are even considering importing a stripped-out lightweight version for the hardened rally enthusiasts among you? But now, if you prefer your motoring to have a little more heritage, then Richard's checking out the latest Aston Martin.
Now this is far more like it. You can keep your plastic bespoiled rally replicas. This is a touch of proper class. It is the V12 Vanquish, the top of the current Aston Martin range. It is a V12 engine, a shade under 6 litres, which should be enough. It'll dash from 0 to 16 in 4.5 seconds, onto a top speed of 190, and all in comfort, style and absolute class. At the top of the Aston Martin range means it's not going to be cheap at £158,000, and if you have got that money, you'll still be waiting 3 years to get one of the 300 a year they're going to make. It is very much a blend of old Aston Martin heritage and style, together with modern technologies and materials. It's got a very clever 6-speed manual gearbox that you can change gear with on the steering wheel. Of course, 158 grand is quite a lot of money, and if you want a car with sporting pretensions but on a slightly more sensible scale and budget, here's an idea.
Honda may have the R, BMW the M, but Toyota now have the T. Now, when the Yaris was first launched, it caused quite a storm and picked up 1 or 2 awards for design and innovation. But the only criticism that you could possibly throw at it was that maybe it lacked a tiny bit of bite. Well, now the Yaris has kicked back with the launch of this, the Yaris T Sport, packing a 1.5 litre engine that Toyota claim is faster than some of the 1.6 hot hatches out there. Is it just a thing to keep Mr. Hammond happy? Well, he's been finding out.
Toyota are going sporty. They're introducing their T Sport range, which will be based on their current models, but each will look sharper, edgier, and with a better performance. And they've started with this. Yeah, well, I suppose there is a kind of sense in starting at the bottom, and this is the Yaris T Sport, which is the bottom of the Toyota range. In fact, Toyota say that the reason they've started with the Yaris is not just because it comes at the bottom of the range and at the beginning, it's also because this is really the most radical of the T Sport range. In the Yaris we get a 1.5 engine specifically for use in this model. We get revised suspension, and we even get stiffening to the chassis and body itself to make the whole thing more sporty. Significant changes that won't appear on most other models in the T Sport range. The Yaris has always been a nifty little mover, and the T Sport, thankfully, is not a disappointment. It handles very nicely, there's plenty of grip and plenty of power. That 1.5 litre is another VVTi engine, so it's more clever variable valve technology stuff, which means it's nice and easy to plod around town, but when you want to get a bit frisky, it's always willing. Then there's a whole raft of sporty styling changes. So obviously there's everything we see on the outside. Inside there's lots of touches of chrome effect here and there on the door handles, even on the leather of the steering wheel, on the gear knob and on the dashboard. It's still a very clever cabin. It feels far bigger and roomier than actually it has any right to be in such a small car. The driving position is a good blend between sort of mini MPV but actually quite sporty and quite compact hatchback feel. Perhaps the best big car attribute that the Yaris brings to a small car is the comfort and ride. Not just because of the space around you, you really are convinced by that ride and handling that you're in a much bigger car. As styling exercises go, this really isn't a bad one. It succeeds in making the Yaris look pretty sporty. These deeper skirts help and the extra light, and I really like this revised grille. It manages to look quite chunky and quite aggressive and pretty sporty, and at the back it looks particularly dynamic. Mind you, around where I live, they usually take the wheels off before they stick it on bricks, but hey. 2 years ago, Toyota won the coveted European Car of the Year award with its stunning little Yaris for innovative design, clever packaging, good handling and willing performance from just a 1 litre VVTi engine. Not forgetting to mention an equally diminutive price tag, the Yaris was second to none in the Super Mini Stakes. Then along came the slightly disappointing 1.3 litre version. And now there's this, the Yaris Sport. At first glance, there's the same smiling face of its older brother and the stylish European design. But it's under the bonnet and out on the open road that this Yaris will be measured. Have Toyota got it right again, or has the Yaris bubble finally burst? Like a tramp's pocket though, there's always a but in there somewhere. And in this case, it's the price. You'll pay a premium of about 1,500 quid to get the Yaris in T Sport form, which is probably fair enough. You do get an awful lot of extra kit for that money. It's a lot more than a stick-on spoiler. But it brings the total price to about 11,500, which is big bucks for a small car, even one as clever as this.
Well, we're staying with small cars now because it's not just Toyota that are thinking big when it comes to compact motoring.
The Nissan Chappo. And the reason it's a funny looking chappy, and it is that the design work started on the inside and then came out. It's very much a case of form following function. That's why it looks, well, a bit odd. Nissan's designers reckon it is supposed to be a room overlooking a Zen garden, and a place where young people, like these, can gather together and do young people's things, whatever they are. Inside the softly lit, pastel-coloured interior, there's screens adorning just about every surface and presumably for just about every function. Global positioning satellite, of course, internet, doubtless, television, almost certainly, even computer games. Pretty much everything young people need when they gather in a room overlooking a Zen garden. Whilst the Chappo itself no doubt emits less gas than a flatulent woodlouse, Nissan's designers must be pessimistic about the future for the world's atmosphere. They've built in a system that, should the outside air be bad, will automatically close all of the car's windows and vents to make maximum use of the onboard air filtration system. With all those teenagers on board, I wonder if it works in reverse and opens them if the air inside is a little off. Well, there's absolutely no doubt that the Chappo is unlike anything I've ever seen. We've got the two guys responsible for it here, and they are, let me get this right, Tauro Ueda and Caro Sato.
Yeah.
You were given the job to design the exterior of a car that the interior, you started with the interior.
That's very difficult approach to us.
Yeah.
Because it's normally exterior first and then interior second.
Yeah.
But this is totally opposite way. So
It's
interior,
inside out.
yeah, interior gives us this very, very huge square space. So, but we don't like to show this exterior is also square.
There's some quite striking points, like the
Yes.
repeat of these
Repeated,
squares from
yeah.
the grille into the lights. There are some features that are from Japanese design
yes.
cues
Yeah.
that you would recognise, like what?
Yeah, because we have a very, very simple surface.
Yeah.
But the detail is the Japanese people is very, very concentrated for the detail.
Are we going to see anything taken from this car, guys, in production Nissan? So will we see a car that looks like this ever? You designed it.
We designed it. So the future Nissan product should be, especially for the young customers, should be something from this design
So we
feature.
may well see bits from this in production cars.
Yes,
Thanks
I'm
for talking
sure.
to us about
Okay.
it. It's not like anything else.
After the break, Ken Gibson's finding out how the X-Type compares to the XKR and the XKRR. And we'll be looking at this, a Honda Civic that's gone all racy. Welcome back to our coverage of the 2001 Geneva Motorshow. Right then, where's Richard gone?
I love it when the really balmy stuff starts coming out of the woodwork, like this, the Rinspeed Advantage 1. Now, it's weird for several reasons, not just the way it looks, which is pretty odd, but also this cockpit in the centre tilts and moves independently. At the moment, in its lowest position, it's the lowest sports car on the market, but it can be lifted up so you can park it. Go shopping, maybe. Not that you're going to do that. But the other reason it's really weird is it's also the world's cleanest sports car because it runs on compressed natural gas, CNG, or comp gas, which is made from kitchen waste. Oh, yes, definitely. So not only is it the world's most clean sports car, it could also be the world's fastest waste disposal unit. Seriously odd thing.
As you can no doubt see from the Geneva Motor Show, finding a sporty car these days really isn't hard to do, providing you can pay the price. If you're on a budget though of less than 20 grand, then they're far harder to come by. But it seems that Honda may have come up with a solution for us. This is their new pocket rocket, the Civic Type-R, which boasts 200 brake horsepower from its 2-litre engine, 0 to 60 in less than 7 seconds, and a top speed of 145 miles an hour. Stephen, tell us about the engine technology in Type-R, because it's something new, isn't it?
It is new. It's part of our new generation of engines. It's a 2-litre double overhead cam VTEC engine. Fantastic power output, very clean, very powerful, very fuel efficient. Gives a great driving experience. We're very excited about it.
How important is Type-R in general to Honda as a manufacturer, as a way of sort of shedding off that stuffy image? It matters a lot to you, does it?
It's an important car for us. You know, some people have occasionally a bit boring cars or whatever. We produce very, very exciting products. You remember our heritage is motor racing, you know, from the motorbikes, from Formula One, touring cars, all very, very successful. Type-R to us is our sports cars, our range of racing cars. So we have the Integra Type-R, which we introduced, the Accord Type-R, and now we're joined with the Civic Type-R. Very, very exciting products to have in our range. And you're right, no one can ever say they're boring.
Who's going to buy Civic Type-R then? Who are we going to see behind the wheel? My granddad?
Well, maybe. This isn't an age thing. This is about people who enjoy motoring. They enjoy driving cars. It is almost no compromise, sporty drive, great performance, and they're going to be motoring enthusiasts. They're going to want to see the rev counter go all the way up. They're going to enjoy the VTEC power coming in. They're going to enjoy and understand the power to weight ratio that we've got in the car. And you've got 0 to 60 performance in around 7 seconds. Great top speed, and this is a fun car. So it's not an age thing, it's an attitude, it's someone that enjoys motoring.
And of course, great news that it's being built in Britain, a British sports car.
I know, isn't that fantastic? We have a massive investment at Swindon. The second factory comes online this summer. The Civic 3-door, the Type-R will come out of that factory. It's great that we can produce in the UK superb, high quality performance cars, and we're exporting them back to Japan. What can I say?
Thank you very much, Stephen. Okay, we're going to stay with the car now that is quintessentially British because Richard's checking out the new Jag.
Jaguar, of course, have a lengthy and deserved reputation for producing beautiful sports cars. Okay, they may have lost the plot a couple of times over the decades, but they've always pulled it round in the end. But, and this is quite important, they have ended up attracting, well, a rather more elderly and giffery type of punter than might be desirable. You're more likely to find a balding fat cat stuffing his set of golf clubs into the boot of his XK8 than a bright young something sliding behind the wheel, and that's not good for a manufacturer. And that is why Jaguar introduced this, the X-Type. It's small, cute, stylish, and every inch a Jaguar designed to attract the MTV generation, as Ken Gibson found out.
It might just be February, but I'm going to confidently predict that this is going to be the year of the cat. We're here today outside Browns Lane, the headquarters of Jaguar Cars, and we're here to see 3 very special and 3 very different cars that illustrate just why Jaguar is on the crest of a wave. I have to admit that the XKR is just about my favourite car. So the prospects of driving the XKR is something that I'm really relishing. I have a very strong feeling this is going to be rather special. Just listen to the sound of that engine. We are talking about a 4-litre supercharged engine that will give you between 420 and 450 brake horsepower, and that is raw speed. The other great thing about this Jaguar is that although you've got all this incredible performance, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, a top speed of 180 conservatively, it's all done in a civilized way. The ride is definitely harder than the ordinary XKR, but it still feels rock solid on the road. The steering feels absolutely pin sharp. This is a car that was built for true Jaguar sports enthusiasts. Well, that was absolutely wonderful. My best advice to Jaguar is build the XKR. It's sensational. But what I can tell you is one car they're definitely going to build is this, the equally stunning X-Type. This is the future of Jaguar, the car that is going to more than double sales and transform the big cat into the absolute cat's whiskers. Prices will start from just £22,000. We're talking about the most affordable Jaguar ever. But this is the car that really put Jaguar back on the road to success. As you would expect for a car named the S-Type Sport, This car benefits from all of Jaguar's latest technology to aid the driver. The engine is silky smooth, but it really does deliver excellent performance. And the great thing about the S-Type is, the harder you drive this car, the more enjoyable it becomes.
Once again, a car manufacturer, this time Daihatsu, proves that there is no accounting for taste. Not only are they anticipating that people are going to want to buy this, the YRV Turbo, but also presumably somebody somewhere sitting behind a desk or at a computer designed it. It's got a 1300cc turbocharged engine. And if you have a burning desire to be seen driving around in a rocket-propelled trailer, this is the thing.
Wandering around the motor show, we discovered this huge crowd of journalists in front of this.
It's a horror. It's a real horror.
We kind of wondered why. It's from Vauxhall. It's based on an Astra and it's called the Extreme.
Extreme.
And you have to say it like that.
It's got a V8
Yeah.
and it's horrible.
It's based on the car that they use in the German Touring Car Championships, capable of over 200 miles an hour. It's got a 4-litre engine. It's causing a consternation. Everyone wants to see it. But why?
Why? What's it going to give?
And
as you
somebody-
pointed out, those doors, DeLorean had the same doors.
And I don't see them at the Geneva Motor Show this
Things went
year.
badly wrong, didn't they? Should have learnt their lesson. What a nasty car.
We actually don't like it very much, so maybe we should go.
These people do. We'll leave it to them. There's a second helping from the Geneva Motor Show next week.
Yes, Ken Gibson will be finding out how Citroën C5 compares with the likes of Mondeo, Passat and Laguna. And we'll also be looking at Fiat's replacement for the Bravo and the Brava. It's called the Stylo. So make sure you join us.
See you then.